Welcome. Let your body soften now. Let everything you've been holding release like breath you no longer need. Tonight, I'm going to tell you two stories about making things. The first is about a potter, an old man in Kerala who works clay by lamplight and discovers what it means to create something beautiful, knowing it won't last forever. The second is about a weaver, a woman who spends her life making cloth and learns that the true gift is not in what remains, but in what we offer while we're here. Both stories are slow, both are gentle. There is no rush here, no urgency, just the rhythm of hands working, the patience of craft, the quiet wisdom that comes from making something with love, even when we know it will one day return to dust. You don't need to remember anything. Just let the stories move through you like thread through cloth, like clay through fingers. If sleep finds you, let it come. Let your breath slow. Let your shoulders drop. Let the workshop welcome you. The first story begins now. There was a village in Kerala, small, quiet, the kind of place where everyone knew everyone, where the houses were made of red clay and thatched with coconut leaves, where the roads were just packed earth that turned to mud when the monsoon came. In this village, there lived a potter. His name was Madhavan, though most people just called him Potter. He was old, very old. His hair was white and thin. His back was bent from years of sitting at the wheel. His hands were gnarled and stained with clay that no amount of washing could fully remove. He lived alone in a small house at the edge of the village, where a stream ran past and the coconut palms grew tall and the air always smelled of wood smoke and wet earth. Behind his house was his workshop, just a small room with a thatched roof and walls open to the air. In the center was his wheel, old, wooden, worn smooth by decades of use. Beside it, clay, always clay, in buckets, in piles, in shapes half-formed and waiting. Every evening, as the sun set and the village settled into night, Madhavan would light his oil lamp, sit at his wheel, and work. Not because he needed to, not because anyone was waiting for pots, but because it was what he did, what he had always done, what his father had done, and his father's father before him. The work was in his hands, in his bones, in the rhythm of the wheel spinning, the clay rising and falling, the shape emerging from formlessness. It was meditation, prayer, life itself. One evening, as the monsoon rain began to fall, soft and steady on the palm leaves above, Madhavan sat at his wheel. He placed a lump of clay in the center. Not too much, not too little, just enough. He dipped his hands in water. The water was cool, clean. It smelled like rain. He placed his foot on the pedal and began to push. The wheel turned, slowly at first, then faster. The rhythm steady, reliable, like a heartbeat. He touched the clay. It was cold, wet, alive in a way that's hard to explain. Not living exactly, but responsive, willing. He pressed down with his thumbs. The clay opened. A hollow formed in the center. He pressed outward. The walls rose, higher, thinner, the shape emerging. Not a pot yet, just the beginning of one. But he could already see it, feel it, know what it would become. A simple vessel, round, smooth, the kind used for carrying water, for storing rice, for holding what needed to be held. Nothing special, nothing ornate, just useful, just right. He worked in silence. The only sounds were the wheel spinning, the rain falling, the oil lamp crackling softly. And as he worked, he thought about time. He had made thousands of pots in his life, thousands, some large, some small, some beautiful, some merely functional. He had sold them in the market, given them as gifts, watched people carry them home, use them, fill them with water or grain or flowers. And he had also watched them break. Always, eventually, they broke, dropped, cracked, chipped, shattered. Clay returns to clay. That was the way of things. Nothing lasts forever. Not pots, not people, not even the wheel that spins beneath his foot, though it had lasted longer than most things. When he was young, this had troubled him. Why make something if it's just going to break? Why pour your heart into something that won't endure? But now, in his old age, he understood. The pot was not the point. The making was the point. The moment when formless clay became form, when empty space became vessel, when nothing became something. That moment was sacred, not because it lasted, but because it happened at all. The pot took shape beneath his hands. He smoothed the rim, thinned the walls, made sure the base was centered, balanced, true, and when it was finished, he lifted it gently from the wheel and set it aside to dry. Tomorrow, he would fire it. The kiln would turn it from soft clay to hard ceramic, from fragile to strong. But even fired, even hardened, it would still be temporary. One day, it would break, and that was okay, because tonight, it existed. Tonight, it was whole. Tonight, it was enough. Madhavan cleaned his hands. He wiped down the wheel. He extinguished the lamp, and as he walked back to his house through the rain, he felt something he hadn't felt in years. Not pride, not satisfaction, just peace. The peace of knowing that what he made didn't need to last forever to matter. It just needed to be made with care, with presence, with love, and that was enough. And now, the second story unfolds. In another village, another time, another craft, there was a weaver. Her name was Lakshmi. She was not young, not old, somewhere in between. Her hair was streaked with gray. Her hands were strong. Her eyes were clear and sharp, even after decades of close work. She lived in a house made of stone and wood, with a courtyard where the sun came in warm and golden in the mornings. And in that courtyard, beneath a wooden shelter, was her loom. It was old, passed down through generations, made of teak that had darkened with age and oil from countless hands. The threads stretched across it like strings on an instrument, waiting to be played. Every day, Lakshmi wove. She made saris, shawls, lengths of cloth that women bought for special occasions, for weddings, for festivals, for moments that mattered. Her work was known throughout the region. People came from distant towns just to buy cloth from her loom. They said her weaving had something special, something you couldn't quite name but could always feel. Her patterns were complex, intricate, threads of red and gold and green and blue woven together in designs that seemed to shimmer and shift depending on how the light hit them. But what made her work special wasn't the complexity, it was the care. Every thread placed with intention, every pass of the shuttle done with presence, every moment at the loom treated as sacred. One day, a young girl came to Lakshmi's house. She was the daughter of a merchant, wealthy, educated, but restless. She had heard about Lakshmi's weaving and wanted to learn. Lakshmi looked at the girl, at her smooth hands, her impatient eyes, her eagerness that hadn't yet learned patience. "Why do you want to weave?" Lakshmi asked. The girl hesitated. "I want to make something beautiful, something that will last, something people will remember." Lakshmi nodded slowly. "Sit." The girl sat beside the loom. Lakshmi showed her how to thread the shuttle, how to pass it through, how to beat the weft into place. The girl tried. Her movements were clumsy. The shuttle caught. The threads tangled. The cloth she made was uneven, full of mistakes. She grew frustrated. "I'm not good at this." Lakshmi smiled. "No one is. Not at first." She reached over and gently untangled the threads. "But that's not why you're struggling." The girl looked at her. "Then why?" "Because you're thinking about the end. About what it will look like when it's finished. About who will see it. About whether it will last." Lakshmi placed her hand on the girl's. "But the cloth doesn't care about any of that. The cloth only knows this moment, this thread, this pass of the shuttle." She paused. "If you want to weave something beautiful, you have to forget about beauty. You have to forget about lasting. You just have to be here. Now, with the thread." The girl stayed. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. And slowly, she learned not just how to weave, but how to be present. How to let go of the outcome. How to find joy not in the finished cloth, but in the making of it. She learned that mistakes weren't failures. They were part of the pattern, part of the story the cloth was telling. She learned that nothing she made would last forever. The cloth would fade, tear, be worn out and discarded. But that didn't make it meaningless. It made it precious, because it existed now. Because someone's hands had made it. Because it would wrap around someone's shoulders, keep them warm, make them feel beautiful for a moment. And then it would let go, as everything must. One evening, as the light was fading, the girl finished her first piece. A simple shawl, nothing elaborate, just stripes of blue and white, woven tight and even. She held it up. It was soft, light. The threads caught the evening light and seemed to glow. She looked at Lakshmi. "It's not perfect." Lakshmi smiled. "Nothing is, but it's yours. You made it with care, with presence. That's what matters." The girl folded the shawl carefully. "What should I do with it?" Lakshmi thought for a moment. "Give it away." The girl blinked. "Give it away? But I worked so hard on it." Lakshmi nodded. "Exactly. That's why you should give it away. So you can learn the final lesson." The girl frowned. "What lesson?" "That the joy isn't in keeping. It's in offering. The cloth was always meant to be given, to be used, to be worn until it falls apart." She reached out and touched the shawl gently. "That's what makes it beautiful. Not that it lasts, but that it was made with love and given freely." The girl left that evening with the shawl. She walked through the village until she saw an old woman sitting outside her house, shivering slightly in the cooling air. The girl approached. "Excuse me, would you like this?" She held out the shawl. The old woman looked at it, then at the girl. Her eyes filled with something like wonder. "For me?" The girl nodded. "Yes, please." The old woman took the shawl and wrapped it around her shoulders. She closed her eyes. A small smile crossed her face. "It's perfect, thank you." And the girl understood. The shawl would fade. It would tear. One day, it would be nothing but threads again. But right now, in this moment, it was keeping someone warm, making someone smile, offering something that mattered. And that was enough. That was everything. And so both stories end. The potter and the weaver, the clay and the thread, both learning the same truth, that nothing we make will last forever. But everything we make with love matters, not because it endures, but because it was offered, because it existed, because it was made with care and given freely. Let that truth settle in you now. Let your body rest. Let your hands relax. Let go of the need to make something that lasts. You don't need to leave something behind. You don't need to be remembered. You just need to be here, now, making what you can with what you have, with presence, with care, with love. And when the time comes to let it go, you'll let it go. As the potter lets go of the pot, as the weaver lets go of the cloth, as we all must let go of everything, not with sadness, but with peace, with the knowing that what we made mattered, even if only for a moment, even if only for now. Sleep now. Let the wheel stop spinning. Let the shuttle rest. Let the rain wash everything clean. You are held. You are whole. You are enough.